A historic moment in the Catholic Church as Pope Leo XIV held his first Mass since being named to the highest position in the Church. Thanks for joining us tonight for your KREM 2 Night Report. I'm Cody Proctor. Now the whole world's had their eyes turned to Rome to watch the introduction of the first American Pope, including right here in Spokane. KREM 2's Caitlyn Galloway spoke with an expert at Gonzaga University about the new Pope selection. And what did you find out from him, Caitlyn?
Yeah, Cody, even people who aren't connected with the Catholic Church tuned into this unique process. But the reach of the Pope extends beyond the Catholic Church. I spoke with Gonzaga Professor of Religious Studies Kevin Brown about Pope Leo XIV's potential impact. The color of the smoke, the secrecy. There's a lot to be interested in about the selection of the new Pope for Catholics and non-Catholics alike.
I think just the ability to sometimes come to a consensus of 2/3 in a short period of time, and in the medieval period sometimes take as long as 3 years to come to a consensus to pick a pope, is something that is intriguing to people.
Kevin Brown teaches religious studies at Gonzaga University. According to him, the recent conclave was the largest and most diverse one the church has had, and it ended with the selection of the first American pope, something many never thought would happen in their lifetime. Most analysts didn't even consider then Cardinal Robert Prevost as an American cardinal, since he spent most of his ministry in both Latin America and Rome. However, Brown says his American background's significant because it gives him a unique perspective.
I think the cardinals knew while they were electing an American, they were also electing someone who had given up some level of privilege to minister amongst the poor.
Brown adds the cardinals likely knew they were electing a pope who stuck to and defended Catholic doctrine, regardless of who objected or supported the teachings.
The critiques that then Cardinal Prevost, now Pope Leo XIV, have issued sort of indirectly on social media of J.D. Vance and President Trump are completely in line with Catholic social teaching.
Overall, Brown says Pope Leo XIV seems to value many of the same causes Pope Francis did.
They saw many of the most prominent political leaders around the world having no moral authority, and that they wanted to elect a pope who would have moral authority to address issues like economic injustice.
While the Pope doesn't have much authority in terms of global politics and affairs, their moral influence still has a strong impact.
They are able to have the ear of a world leader. Even if a world leader doesn't listen to them, if the Pope calls, I don't think any world leader is going to turn down the phone call.
The inauguration is officially scheduled for May 18th. Pope Leo will preside over his first general audience a few days later. In the newsroom, Caitlyn Galloway, KREM 2 News.
Caitlyn, thank you so much. And amazement and disbelief. That's how many people described finding out that the newly elected Pope is from Chicago. Tonight, we're hearing from a Washington woman who had the opportunity to meet Pope Leo XIV when she was in Rome 6 months ago. Vivian Shannon was on a special retreat to the Vatican as part of a global delegation of Catholic nonprofits. She had lunch with Cardinal Robert Prevost last fall and met Pope Francis on that same trip. The news yesterday came as quite the shock.
When I saw him walk out onto the balcony, I literally almost fell out of my chair. He was so appreciative of the nuns, thanked them profusely for their care of such a beautiful church. And then after Mass, we noticed that he went over and thanked the one nun that was present, and he gave her a blessing. And then she was elderly, and he kind of helped walk her out of the chapel.
Pew Research Center data shows fewer Americans describe themselves as Catholics compared with 18 years ago. 24% of Americans said they were Catholic in 2007. Now that number is down to 20%. Catholics we heard from yesterday say they hope this new pope will re-energize Catholicism in America. And we have more coverage of the new Pope available to watch right now on KREM 2 Plus, including an inside look at the conclave and the Pope's first message after he was elected. Download KREM 2 Plus for your TV and watch for free.